Hey, welcome back to Variety Homestead. I wanted to give you a brief tour of some improvements that I've made to the wood shop over the last 5 years. The thing you're looking at right now is my wood stove. Now, this is not an expensive wood stove. I think it was in the $375 range. I'm going to show you what's here, and then I'm also going to show you the piping and all of that on the outside, where I installed it on the outside. So here we go. I know you can't see really well in there. It's got some ashes in there from the last fire we had, and I need to clean it out because it's supposed to go down to about 36 tonight, and we're going to be hanging out in the shop. And so I'm going to build a fire out here in just a few minutes. But I did want to show you, this stove is only, like 20 inches high. It's sitting on a couple of bricks, well, a brick for each leg. And then there's this cool fan on top, and that fan starts twirling when the heat starts building up, and it will really blow the heat out into the shop. Here's a as you can see, this is a 6-inch pipe, goes up into the wall in between my two garage doors, which I've insulated, and there's my wood stack over there, and I'm plenty far away from this. This is single wall pipe, and it goes up into a thimble in the wall, and there's concrete backer board here, as you can see. It's 18 inches off the wall, and it's got plenty of clearance up top. So this bad boy will really put out some heat. Now, the stove itself I got at Tractor Supply, and it was, like I said, $300 and some, and it is it'll drive you out. I mean, we've had 26, 24 degree temps out and had this thing blazing. Now, it takes about an hour for it to start heating the room up really good, but it works. And I've got about a 560 square foot shop here. I did insulate my garage doors on both sides, and the walls are insulated. When we moved in here, that was not the case. There was no insulation anywhere. Okay, I made the trip outside so you could see how I've got this thing into the wall. There's a triple wall insulator pipe, the short pipe that goes into the wall and meets up and inserts, or the single wall thimble on the inside inserts into that. And then you've got this triple wall pipe going all the way up. And as you can see, it's, well, you may not be able to tell from this angle, but it's exactly 24 inches above the peak of the roof, which is what the manufacturer called for. And then there's this rig here that holds it, and underneath, let me see if I can give you a good shot here. There's a plate here that comes off with 2 screws, one on each end, and you can literally slide this out, and it slides right out, and then you can take your chimney brush and swish up there and clean that out. It's pretty cool. Now, this is this kit. I bought the whole kit together, and it came in a couple of boxes. It was quite heavy, and I bought it online, but I think I got it from Tractor Supply, and it was expensive. It was in the $600-700 range, but it was absolutely complete. It had, well, except for screws, and it had most of the screws, but it was absolutely worth it to put this up. This has been up for a couple of years now, and it has really, really made life in the shop when I'm doing work out there to be quite pleasant and doable in the wintertime. So for warmer weather in the shop, this past summer, I put up this modular screen in. I made this myself, and I can remove it if I need to, but I probably won't need to unless I get some really big stuff coming into the shop. You can see that's what the door looked like, and the door is still behind there. So what I do is I roll up the door when the weather's warm, not blazing hot. I don't need to turn the AC on from my mini split. It's not that hot, but it gets warm out there when you're working out there. So I built this out of 1x screws, and then I purchased some screen and basically screwed this into the walls of where you can see over here, the walls of the garage. I would zoom in
and I'm going to zoom in, but you're going to lose perspective. That's why I started here, so you can see it really well. And this is, I can take this off. It'll take me, not more than 5 minutes to dismantle it and then lean it up against the other door if I need to bring something in or out. But this solves the problem of it it's just warm enough to be uncomfortable, but not warm enough to turn AC on. And it also gives us a killer view. So I'm gonna pause this for a minute, and I'm gonna go inside and roll up the door and show you what it looks like from the inside out. So here it is from the inside of the shop. This is, I didn't paint or finish anything on the inside, but you can see, basically what I did was I took 2x4s and I ripped them in half, and then I made 2x out of them, 2x2s, and then I just built the frame, put the screen on there, stretched it, stapled it, and put the 1x on the outside, painted the 1x to protect it a little bit from the weather. And this is the view we have. Yes, we have a neighbor that's probably, he's a very old couple that lives over there, and I guess this house is a good 150 yards away, and because the road is 100 yards, just a little bit of over 100 yards from here. That's my really big, really old pecan tree. But you got this framing, and I'm telling you, it does a really good. You put a fan on, and it does a really good job of flowing the air through. And it's when it's not too hot outside, but it's a nice late spring day, maybe even early summer. It's really awesome. So I got one more heating and AC solution to show you before I end this. Okay, and then finally, this is a mini split that we had put in this year, or well, actually summer of last year, because it's springtime here now, or middle late spring, and this solves the rest of the solutions. So on heat, if it gets really cold and we're not building a fire, or if we just need low heat just to keep things warm enough, if we want to put chickens out here, whatever, we can use this. And this mini split, got it online, and it's 13,000 BTUs, which is what was recommended for the size shop that I have. The walls are insulated, but the ceiling joists and the rafters are not insulated, but it still does an excellent job. And then one more, I'll show you the air handling unit on the outside, and we'll be done. So this is the air handler, and I got it sitting on some block, and then I got a 220 wired out here, and there's my 220, because I do have a sub panel, and there was room in there to do that. I'll try to show you the specs on it so that you can see what I got, because that's not necessarily, there we go. Maybe you can read that. And it is a really good unit, and we've been really happy with it so far. So basically we have our HVAC and our wood stove, and we have the roll-up door screen. So we have covered most eventualities. If things get tough and we were to lose power and be in a grid down situation, of course the HVAC unit would be useless, but other things might be useful, like the wood stove, or we can roll up the door. And we do have a couple of generators, but I wouldn't waste it on doing AC and heat, because we can generate that. We have one working fireplace in our house, and then we have our wood stove out here. So we can be comfortable, and we can do without the power, except for our well and our freezers. So the two generators that I have, we'll have to take care of those. And that's about it for this particular video. Just a quick rundown on some of the things we have out here at the homestead that you can think about if you're trying to do this as well, and how far you want to go. But be advised, this this is a 5-year. We've been out here for 5 years. We couldn't afford to do this stuff right away, so we suffered the first 3 or 4 years until we started getting some of this stuff in place. And I sweated a lot, and I wore a lot of coats when I was out in the shop trying to work in very cold temps. But nevertheless, it is one of those things that we did in order to kind of make things a little more comfortable, but also to hopefully provide for a grid down situation, at least with the wood stove. Okay, so that's it for this particular tour of our wood stove, our HVAC setup, and my screen setup for my roll-up doors. So look, if you want to do some of this stuff, you can message me in the video. I'll tell you various and sundry details and the cost. Look, since this has been done, some of this was done 2 or 3 years ago and some of it last year. I can't tell you what the costs are going to be today. Really, you'd have to look that up, but I might be able to give you some helpful hints on what to do. It was expensive. We had the electrical run for the mini split the year before, and that was, well, we had several things done. We had a generator hookup for our well and that done at the same time, and both of those jobs combined was about $700. So it's really difficult for me to tell you exactly what just the mini split thing was. So nevertheless, the wood stove itself, it was about $365, and then like I said, when I was outside showing you the triple wall, that stuff's expensive. The whole kit now, if you bought it in parts, what you needed, you're going to spend more than that. But it was like $600-700 for that. So it's cost me like $1,000 for the wood stove. But it's going to last for years and years and years, and it's going to provide heat in a grid down situation. We've got oil lamps. We got all this other stuff that we can use to provide light. I'm just concerned about the well so that we have water to run the generators and the generators to run our freezers. The rest of it, we're not sweating. We can cook, we can do whatever we need to do. So I would like to thank you for visiting Variety Homestead, and if you have a mind, I would really love it if you hit the like button, and even more if you hit the subscribe button. So until next time, have a good one.